in a freak pandemic. But I got recipes you should try to mimic. Flour and butter and sugar and honey don't sound like much, but taste like money. Add some chocolate and can you say hello? Oh, wait, don't forget that sweet marshmallow. Come on, everybody, and make some noise, cause TBFB's making homemade s'mores.
For our homemade s'mores, we will start by making graham crackers. For the graham crackers, we just need a little all-purpose flour, some whole wheat flour, butter, sugar, honey, baking soda, and a little salt. Then we will move on to the homemade marshmallows. For that, we need some egg whites, some unflavored gelatin, cornstarch, corn syrup, and a little sugar. And that 60% cacao chocolate you see, that's going in the middle of our ooey gooey s'mores.
I love the idea of making things at home that you can buy easily at the store. I don't know why. But graham crackers are a great little treat when you don't want something too terribly sweet, but just a little. So we're going to start out with this graham cracker recipe. I'm starting with half a stick of softened butter in my bowl, and we're going to add some sugar and an egg and beat that together. Once this has been combined for about 3 minutes, I'll add some honey. Now that the eggs, butter, and sugar are creamed together, I'm going to add a little honey and get that all out of there. Add the honey, and then I've got half a teaspoon of baking soda that I'm going to mix with 2 teaspoons of water. And once that honey comes together, we'll add this to the mix. With the honey mixed in, I'm going to add the baking soda and turn the mixer down and add our flour and just a little salt. So I've got 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour and a cup and a half of whole wheat flour. And those will just go in until they're combined. Once our dough comes together, it should clump but not feel tacky. We are going to sprinkle a little whole wheat flour down on the counter and roll these out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Once our dough is rolled out thinly, we're just going to cut this into some rectangles. So I think I'll just use a pizza cutter to make these. And the dough's a little crumbly, so first try to even it up. Get rid of these scraps. And we'll just make these cracker size pieces. Yeah, so those will end up being pretty big. And then to make them look like graham crackers, I'm just gonna score these with a fork sort of into those graham cracker shapes that we all know and love, where you can just split them apart. So don't go all the way through. You just want to put some perforations in here. And then I'm going to lift these out onto a baking sheet that is ungreased.
Aw, they're so homely, it's charming. So these are going into a 350 oven for 8 minutes on one side, and then we're gonna flip them and bake another 8 to 12 minutes, just till they're crispy.
So, full disclosure, this is take 2 for these marshmallows. You really need a candy thermometer. I didn't use one the first time, and things didn't go so hot. Okay, so we are going to start out with 1/3 of a cup of water, to which we are going to add 2 envelopes of unflavored gelatin, and we're going to let that bloom for about 15 minutes. While that is working, I've got 1/3 of a cup of water on top of the stove, and we're going to add a cup of sugar. Once this comes to a boil, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of corn syrup, and then we're going to watch the candy thermometer until it comes to 260 degrees. Okay, I have also prepared a pan. I've got an 8-inch square baking pan here that I've lined with some parchment paper and some cornstarch. So we will have that ready to go. I've taken the sugar and water off the heat, and I'm going to add in this gelatin, and we'll just stir that until the gelatin is completely melted. And then we're going to go over to the mixer where we will whip some egg whites. And we're mixing. I've got 3 egg whites that I'm going to whip to soft peaks. Not those stiff, pointy peaks like we've used in other recipes. We just want nice, round, foamy peaks. And then we're going to add our syrup, sugar mixture. Okay, here's what we're looking for. Soft, round peaks. And I'm going to slowly add in the sugar mixture very gradually.
It's so fluffy.
Now we're just going to pour these soon-to-be marshmallows into that prepared pan and leave them be for about 6 hours. Really, overnight is best. I know it's hard, but don't futz with them. Just let them live. And we'll check on these in a while.
Sleep tight, sweet prince.
Once the marshmallows have set, we will flip them out onto a piece of parchment that I've dusted with some powdered sugar and cornstarch. It's really not time to do this, but I am way too impatient to wait. And the reveal. Oh my gosh. Those look amazing. I'm so excited. Now, finally, it's time to assemble. We've got our snappy little graham crackers that break right along that preparation. I'm gonna add some good dark chocolate, our delicious fluffy marshmallows, and I've got my little flamer here. Hopefully it works. And we'll just give that marshmallow a toast. Now that is a grown-up s'more right there. So, you got time on your hands? Why not give these a try? Oh my God, it's so freaking messy. Yep. It's all good in the hood. See you next time.